Working week has been a good one for you. The first one of the month, February. Today is February 5 after all. And I hope you're doing good. Or at least good enough. Alright. I hope you also made plans to at least have a good time this weekend. And even if you didn't, you might be spontaneous, like I like to be many times. Just endeavor to take some time off, take a load off. Relax, I don't know, catch up on the movie, sleep some more if you need to, or visit some family and friends if that might be a requirement, alright, or a necessity more like. But of course, while you're doing all that, remember to hashtag stay safe. Let's see. On the show today, a few matters we're going to be looking at, as usual. Starting, of course, with the traditional side comments, random stories, random thoughts around those, and I've got, which will not be discussed, by the way, until much later on during the open season segment. And then I've got a rant as well, something on my mind. I'm expressing some thoughts in it. I'll take your thoughts in mine all the way till 4 p.m. Our 4 features the business news, absolutely, and after that, is River State getting the neighborhood watch right? Is it? Getting it right as far as deployment, as far as efforts, at improving security in the state, especially with the neighborhood watch, because there was some report or some story on the news earlier today. Here it is. Regional representative of the Africa America Security Study Group, Azuka Nolim, says operatives of the River State Neighborhood Watch Agency were deployed to communities without training. As you may know, the Director General of River State Neighborhood Watch, Mike Uche Chukuma, said he has begun posting operatives of the agency. But Ms. Nolim said deploying operatives of the agency into communities without basic training will be counterproductive. She, however, called on Governor Nyesom Wike not to allow any hasty deployment of operatives without proper training to avoid crisis between them and other local security outfits in the communities. Let's hear what Azuka Nolim had to say about this situation.
Citizen participation in the security of lives and properties is the only way out of this ravaging insecurity in the country. But there should be strong synergy with all stakeholders and resources available, as River State's outing on Neighborhood Watch should set a standard according to the global best practice on the people-owned security platforms. We duly call on the governor not to allow any hasty deployments of the operatives without proper training.
We might remember that the training of operatives of the River State Neighborhood Watch was disrupted by the military at the NYC orientation camp on December 18, 2018. So we'll be discussing this. What should the River State government be doing to improve security in the state, especially as regards to deployment of the Neighborhood Watch Agency? Joining me for that conversation via phone will be Azuka Nolim, Regional Coordinator for African American Security Study Group. That comes up in the 4 o'clock hour after the business news. That takes us to 5. The news update comes up, and no administration is perfect. I'm not the one who's saying that. Femi Adesina is the one saying that. Remember him? Yep, one of the president's media advisors. He's the one who's saying that. And you can find that story, I think, in the Vanguard newspaper. I think that's where it is. Captioned, "There's no perfect administration anywhere." Femi Adesina tackles critics. Now, a bit of that story. The special advisor to President Muhammadu Buhari on media and publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina, on Friday, asked critics, especially the major opposition, the People's Democratic Party, to go home and stop whaling, noting that the last of the original whaling whalers, Neville O'Reilly Livingston, has passed on. In his article titled, "The Last Whaling Whalers Dies," Additional averred that there is no administration anywhere in the world that could be said to be perfect. So that said, I'm asking a question. Do you suppose that the critics of the Buhari administration unfair to his government? It's a question I'm asking. As additional posits that there is no perfect administration anywhere in the world. And is there really? I'll get your take on that in the 5 o'clock hour. Headlines 5:30, major news at 6. Open season is up after that. and whatever else comes. I think by 6:30 we've got the phones and gadget show as well, taking us till 7 when it all comes to an end. The sports gang will be in by 7 for extra time. That's the show today. Absolutely. If there are any tweaks to it, you'll have to stay tuned to find out. So on with the show now with today's side comments, random stories and random thoughts of mine on these stories, which once again are not up for discussion now. Starting with River State, of course. River State government today flagged off the construction of the Nkpolu Oroworuko flyover. And speaking during the brief flag-off ceremony, Governor Yesemwike said the flyovers are part of his administration's urban renewal to improve the economy of the state and create jobs. Let's hear what His Excellency had to say about the latest in a apparently continuing series of flyover flagging-offs and groundbreakings and commissionings. It's all about the flyovers, basically. You get the gist. So where is that? It's here somewhere. It's March 5. Oh, here we are, I think. Yeah.
We have been having urban renewals to bring back Port Harcourt to what it used to be. I'm sure that this seven flyover will improve the beauty of this place. The properties here will go up and businesses will thrive.
Okay, all right. This flyover is the 7th one awarded to Julius Berger Construction Company by the Wike administration. It will start from Olubasanjo Road to Equere Road and was initially called the Equere Road Olubasanjo flyover in Ikoku, but has now been renamed or named after the community where it will be sited. Congratulations to His Excellency, the administration, the good people of River State. Another flyover is on the way. That's something. That's definitely something. It is something. You must agree with me that it is something. It is no doubt something. Congratulations once again. The APC in River State says today's Supreme Court judgment has ended argument on the authenticity of the caretaker committee chairman of the APC, Mr. Nwuke, in an interview, described the judgment as upright and just. Oh, is the APC finally resolving their family affair in River State? I don't know. That remains to be seen, though. But there's been some development as regards that. I suppose we might deliberate on some of these issues, discuss them, possibly sometime next week. But let's hear what Nwuke had to say.
We have learned that Igaguma has withdrawn his membership of the party following the crushing defeat. We can only wish him well in his future endeavors. It is now clear that Right Honorable Igaguma had no right, under whatever guise, to challenge the right of the party to choose leaders of its caretaker committee. Now that the obstacles placed on the way of the Rivers APC have been removed, we want to thank the justices of the Supreme Court for their wisdom and upright decision. The decision has lifted the veil and put all who were behind the action to destabilize the APC to shame.
Okay, has the APC finally regained stability in River State? Time will tell. Time definitely will tell. So let's see, what else caught my attention on the news today? Oh yeah, congratulations by the way. Yeah, another round of applause as Nigeria will begin, or has begun, more like it, the vaccination against COVID-19 today. Days after it received the first batch of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccines, an ED of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Faisal Shuaib, said the government did kick off the exercise at the National Hospital in Abuja, where frontline health workers were the first set of people to be vaccinated. President Buhari and Vice President Osinbajo will be vaccinated against a deadly virus tomorrow. Shuaib said once the strategic leaders have been vaccinated, attention will shift to states, where leaders such as state governors will also be made to take the vaccine in public. All right, so that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. I hope that we're able to get more of the vaccines in the country and improve or increase rollout and ensure that more Nigerians are able to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. By the way, it's the responsible thing to do. once the vaccines come. If you have an opportunity to go get vaccinated, please do so. It's not connected to 5G. It doesn't matter what your papa or your mama says. It's nothing. It's not connected to your mobile phone in any way. All right, just go get vaccinated. Protect yourself. Protect others as well. And by the way, don't get it twisted. Your papa is probably vaccinated already. Your papa may have traveled overseas to go get vaccinated by now. So don't deceive yourselves. Get vaccinated also. I think I might have to wrap up today's side comments on that note, but not before the my capacity as the self-appointed senior special advisor to the River State Governor, reminding His Excellency of critical matters. Your Excellency, the teachers in demonstration schools in River State need to get their salaries. They've been owed for quite a long time right now, and they've got a subsisting court judgment that states that you have to pay them from the industrial court. And the appeal filed by your administration was thrown out by the Court of Appeal for lacking merit. I would not want to preempt what the Supreme Court will say, but anyone's guess is as good as mine, I suppose. So, Your Excellency, being a man who publicly eulogizes and advocates and tries to prop up the judiciary, it would be a great idea to show how all for justice and equity and law and the judiciary, Your Excellency, is by obeying a court order and paying the demonstration teachers their salaries. Pay them, Your Excellency, pay them. Because if you don't pay them, Your Excellency, you see, let's think about it this way. How will they be able to use the flyovers, Your Excellency? How? When they don't have money to fix their vehicles or to buy, the cost of fuel, petrol is going up these days. How will they get money to buy petrol into their vehicles so they can use the flyovers, Your Excellency? The flyovers, Your Excellency, is constructed is so that the people can enjoy it, can use it, including these teachers who are residents of River State. If they don't have salaries, which you're not paying them, Your Excellency, they can't fuel their vehicles, they can't pay for transport, they can't get taxes, they can't enjoy the benefit of the flyovers. And I know Your Excellency will not like that, because everybody should benefit from the flyover projects. So, Your Excellency, please pay them. I know that infrastructure money is infrastructure money, but let's also look for an assigned demonstration teacher money as well. It's very vital. And also education money should also be sorted out so we can fix education, especially at the basic level here in River State. A lot of work needs to be done with the basic education in the state. So let's also earmark education money as well, so we can hire the at least 10,000 teachers we did in River State, at least 4,000 non-teaching staff, fix the infrastructure as well in a lot of our schools, especially in the suburbs and rural areas. Let's work on that. Let's work on that. Let's work on that, Your Excellency. It's a terrible situation in many of the schools. Absolutely preposterous. Let's fix it. Is there anything I'm forgetting? Oh, I almost forgot. Your Honorable CPNS, Police Commissioner, CP Eboka Friday, aka the versatile one. What is going on with the investigation of your gallant officers, the crackheads of the now defunct E-Crack team that extorted a Uniport student, and he was so happy about the money he had stolen, he forgot his phone. What's going on, your CPNS? The good people of River State are still waiting to hear the outcome of that situation. Don't worry, your CPNS. We will not forget. I will keep reminding you. All right, so that's that. I go for a break. When I return, today's round comes on. Please stay with us.
We connect you to the world. We connect you to the vicinity. We are Nigeria Info.
Listen to me, I said this is a real situation and the government has to do something about it. What are you trying to insinuate? All these people looting Nigeria's money?
This is Nigeria Info, in the heart of Nigeria. 92.3. We are Nigeria Info.
A clean surrounding is a collective effort.
Diseases could be avoided
With good hygiene practice. Be more responsible with how you dispose waste products. The environment will be better looking without litter and exposed garbage. We love our city clean. This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Keeping up with political issues and developments around you only on Nigeria Info.
And now, Hard Facts. Hard Facts with Diode.
You're welcome back. It is Hard Fact 91.3 Nigeria Info and her input hacker time dial. 29 minutes gone past 3 p.m. And I'd like to rant for just a bit. I've got something in my mind and some thoughts I'd like to express on it, and you're welcome to share your thoughts and mine all the way till 4 p.m. Now, it's no longer news that school children, especially in some parts of the north, were kidnapped in huge numbers, in very huge numbers. The latest one being, I think about 300 of them, or just close to 300 of them, were kidnapped by so-called bandits, aka criminals, aka terrorists. I'm sure Sheikh Gumi disagrees, but who cares really? They were kidnapped, and thankfully, they were. Thankfully, they were. They've been released, or sometimes it's hard to even find the right word to use. Were they rescued? Were they released? Anyway, semantics. I'm going to leave that alone. So they were freed, and the whole world was in shock. The whole world was in shock as to the incident. And yes, many persons, not a few actually, including respondents on the show, propounded all kinds of conspiracy theories. But you know what? As far as the children are concerned and their loved ones, all of those conspiracy theories didn't matter really. They were absolutely irrelevant, because the fact is that these children oh, pardon my laughter. Someone said they were billed via WhatsApp. That's a good one. They were billed. Okay. Alright, so where am I? Okay, fine. So the whole world was in shock, and these people, the parents, their loved ones, uncles, aunts, other relatives, neighbors, friends, were all in shock. The entire world was in shock, and in pain and grieving for these people, and hoping and praying that they will be rescued or built, as somebody has suggested over here, and be reunited with their family. And thankfully it happened. News came in that they had been rescued or built, as has been suggested. And you can imagine the relief. Even though, in spite of that relief, one would also think, and I did, about the horrors that those children inevitably must have been subjected to. And as I've mentioned before, I really don't even like to think about what could have happened to them for the few days that they were in the custody of their abductors. I'm sure those few days may have seemed like an eternity to those children. So once again, they were freed, they were rescued, they were released, they were built, and everyone looked forward to these children being reunited with their family members. And that's a sensible thing to do. But before then, they had to have themselves checked medically. They had to be assessed, possibly even psychologically as well. Not a bad thing, I suppose. Of course, in the Nigerian classic way of things, we probably sewed clothes for them. I mean, they had to wear clothes. Not unusual. and they had to meet with His Excellency in the States, which may not be completely unusual, but no doubt very much Nigerian, no doubt about that. And so that took maybe, I don't know, a day or two or thereabouts for all of this. We had to have the media show of His Excellency addressing them and receiving them and all of that. Yeah, that works, I suppose, maybe. And then there was an event. There was to be, the children are to be handed over to their parents or to their guardians, to their family members, to their relatives, to their loved ones. And you would think that this was going to be the happiest thing ever. It was going to be the stuff of incredible joy. The kind of joy that's so overwhelming you just find yourself crying. Like the end of a good movie. It's kind of tragic and just leaves you feeling sad and happy at the same time. Like a happy ending, sort of, It was supposed to be beautiful. The kind of stuff that if a documentary were made and that scene, that moment when the children are reunited with their family members, the joy, the happiness, the overflowing mix of emotions would be so gripping that people in production might decide that scene, they should have some slow motion cuts of that scene, of maybe a mother running to her child and the child running to her mother as well in slow-mo, and then at the point where they would meet, the mother would crouch and the child would just leap into the air, trusting that her mother would catch her, and they would embrace each other, and they would laugh, and then they would cry, and then they would laugh again, and they would cry again, and they would just be happy, and it would be beautiful. And for a brief moment, we would forget that just a few days ago we were all in agony, we were all in deep pain as to what these children were going through. Just for a moment we'd forget our pain and just focus on the joy and the happiness and the beauty of it all. That's how it was supposed to play out. But that's not how we do it here. No. We don't do it like that here. We have a way of doing our own things. There is a Nigerian way of doing these things. That one is just head now. It's how they do it over there in sensible countries. But there's a way we do it here. And this is how we do it here, as reported by France 24. Shooting mars reunion of freed Nigerian schoolgirls with parents. Here's the story. All the 279 Nigerian schoolgirls released by kidnappers this week were on Wednesday reunited with their parents in an emotional event overshadowed by chaos and shooting by security forces, an AFP reporter saw. Angered by officials' insistence on a formal handover before parents could live with their children, mobs began throwing stones at officials outside the school in the remote village of Jangibe when the girls were returned. So the officials there wanted to do an official handing over ceremony. These parents were not going to rob them of their 5 minutes of fame. If it were possible, they would have done a commissioning of the children. If it were possible, they would have commissioned the children. They would have put them somewhere and then tied a ribbon around them. And then somebody will come there with a scissors and say, "It is my pleasure to be here. You can all see me. I am Chief Honorable Chairman Excellency Alaji. I'm happy to be here today, as Allah has made us to see today. It is with great pleasure that I hereby welcome and commission these children." You see, they have been gone for a while now, but we have them back, the efforts of our gallant officers. So children, I say welcome. You're hereby welcome once again. If it were possible, they would have done a commissioning ceremony. But anyways, back to the story. Sadly, one person was shot in the stomach when security personnel opened fire and was carried away by others in the crowd. Quote, 4 people have been shot dead in the confusion. Jangibe resident Bello Gidanruwa told AFP via phone. The tally could not immediately be confirmed with official sources. Pupils at government secondary school in the village in northwestern Zamfara state, the girls were abducted on Friday from their hostels by gunmen known locally as bandits who released them early Tuesday. Since their release, the students have been in government care in state capital Gusau, receiving medical treatment before being returned to the school to be handed over to their parents. There were tears and hugs from parents and relations as the girls arrived in buses, but officials and security personnel insisted on ushering the children into the dining hall. Anxious parents were outraged by officials' insistence that the girls must be handed over to the local chief of Anka district, Atahiru Ahmad Anka. They needed to do a handing over ceremony because there had to be a ceremony. How can chiefs not stand there with all the turban and the new dashiki that they just saw the night before? How would they not wear it and display it? And then the camera crew will not capture them and take pictures as they are handing over the children. Quote, it is infuriating for officials to say they had to finish their speeches before handing over our children to us. This is outrageous, one mother told the AFP. Because the honorables there and the chiefs and elders had to read their speeches that have been prepared for them. They had to officially hand over and officially receive. Who knows? I might be mistaken. There may have been a commissioning planned as well. Back to the mother. They know the roads are insecure, but they didn't care. If we leave late and are kidnapped with our daughters again, the girls' rescue will make no sense. The parents were even thinking beyond. They were thinking while the so-called chiefs and security people and officials were not thinking. The parents were thinking of their safety as well. We need to leave here quickly before it gets dark so we don't get kidnapped again with the girls. But of course, the officials needed their ceremony. They don't care what time it ends, because when they leave there, they're going to leave in bulletproof SUVs with Mopo and Army guarding them to their destinations. The children and their parents, God help them. God will help them. And if they get kidnapped again, it doesn't matter. Sheikh Gumi or somebody will go to negotiate with the bandits again. There was chaos in the hall as parents grabbed their children and stormed out to the consternation of the officials. Sensible parents who didn't care for the handing over ceremony. They were not there for a ceremony. They were not there for a handing over ceremony or a commissioning. They were not there to listen to speeches or to take or for photograph sessions. They were there to receive their daughters. That's why they were there. Shooting by the security forces began when the crowd began pelting a convoy carrying regional parliament speaker Nasiru Muazu Magaria with stones as he tried to leave the village. Despite the chaos, the girls and parents were happy for their release. So an event that was supposed to be a joyous one, reuniting abducted children, almost 300 of them, with their parents, turned out to be a nightmarish event because leaders, Nigerian officials, wanted to do handing over ceremony. They wanted to deliver their speeches. They needed their 5 minutes of fame, and nobody was going to take it away from them after they have sewn cloth and they have bought new turbans. And they were going to display and showcase the gallant effrontery, or not effrontery, the gallant, what would the word be in this case? The gallantness of the gallant officers who rescued them, supposedly, or something like that. It's very sad, most unfortunate indeed. So even the moment that was supposed to be a joyful one, somehow we managed to destroy it. Somehow. In our Nigerian way, in the way we do it here, we managed to destroy what was supposed to be a truly happy and joyful moment. Because our leaders need their 5 minutes of fame. It speaks once again to a fundamental truth in this country, that for most leadership, or for a lot of leadership in this country, it's not about people. Because if the officials at that event were thinking about the people and not their opportunities to take pictures or to trend or to appear on national TV, if they were thinking about the anxious parents, if they were thinking about the children who are afraid and aching for the warm embrace of their parents and their loved ones, if they were thinking about that, none of this would have happened. Another reminder to leadership in this country, that it's not about you. It's not about you. It's not about Mopo. It's not about bulletproof SUVs. It's about people. And when you fail to understand that, when you fail to grasp that fundamental basis of it all, you are bound to have incidents like this, where a joyous moment is turned to a chaotic, horrendous event where somebody is shot and possibly even killed. Hopefully they get it someday, or at least we get it, so that we can identify persons who feel that way and elect them or vote them into office. On that note, I end my rant. Thanks for listening. Hope I didn't bore you. Any thoughts in mind? Let's hear it. Numbers to the same lines are open. We got 0817 93 0002 or 0003. 0817 93 0007 or 0009. Please keep it brief, concise, and straight to the point. We're live on Twitter also at Nigerian for PH. WhatsApp is on 0809 030 6416. Also Facebook.com /Nigeria Info PH. Hello, hard facts, welcome.
Hello there, good evening.
Hi, go on.
Yeah, my name is OG and I'm calling you from Roboko. I think I'm even surprised that you're surprised the whole thing, because the last time we talked about this kind of thing, when the children were kidnapped, the condolences, the visits were to the governor. So I don't see them recognizing the parents at all. That is the normal routine. When somebody is being kidnapped, when their parents are nothing, nobody visits them, nobody talks anything about their parents. It's only the governor. Yes, because it's a part of the thing or things that are happening in our country. They don't think about us. They don't think about the public. I even expect from security people to think twice. They should be closer to the people than the politicians, the so-called leaders. They should be closer to the masses, because they will still get whatever they wish they want to get. Thank you very much.
Hello, Hot Fat, welcome. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening, Darian.
Hello, go ahead.
My name is Oliver.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. I think this kidnapping issue these days, with our kidnapping our children, releasing them, is almost a project commissioning to me. It's not like they want to even do project commissioning or what. They do the ceremony. They even have a Guinness Book of Records that you write your name and show that you help school children to be released and pay ransom or whatever. It's not like it now looks like it's an achievement in a failed state, a failed country, that leaders are not doing the right thing, no security. Then when you now release help and negotiate and the children are released, you're doing a party, doing pictures. You don't care about after that day, that's all. You don't care about the children welfare, just to make sure it's an avenue to I use government funds, to loot government funds just because children were kidnapped and they were released. So it's not the issue of as if they want to turn it to commissioning. They're already doing the commissioning. They will write their name and put in a place, and anybody that comes in, they will write the date, that what time that the thing happened, that so governor is the one that helped the person, help these children to be released. He has done so much for the country and for the state.
Yeah.
So to me, if they are doing commissioning, that is commissioning of project. It's a project to them. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Hello. Oh, via Twitter at Ogunchino IS, I think. Twitter. The official handing over ceremony is another way of choppings for some people, allegedly. Hello, 19.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good, go on.
This is Bishop. I'm calling you from Elena.
Go ahead.
And the issue of these celebrations, to me, I think the Nigerian government are giving more opportunities to the banditry to do what they are doing. How? It happened in the period of Jonathan, and in Houston, one way or the other, people were sent to do this as to destabilize or discredit the image of the government of Jonathan. Now, this thing again, it has come up now and become almost a custom. And then the minute that happen, they know the right people they will send, they will contact to go and negotiate with these boys. To me, I feel the government in power has knowledge about it. Number one. Two, the celebration they are doing, let me also approve those parents when they take away their children. Because the government of the state, the House of Assembly of the state, and even the local government of the state does not recognize any of those parents. All things were directed to the state governor, the consulate visit, and whatever. So to me, I see that the action these things are not being curtailed by the Nigerian government. They are sending a very wrong signal.
All right, so great to hear from you via Facebook. Nate Getche Abraham goes, that's Nigeria. Don't know why we're not mindful of the event. Christopher Walker goes, there's no need for this chaos. This was supposed to be a happy reunion and a period of sober reflection. Debari Got Power goes, until Nigeria practices true democracy, we will never get it right. All the states and LGAs on their own controlling securities in their domain. All right. Ikechi Ekpemandra goes, sometimes you wonder the kind of training these our security men had. Were they only taught combat? Was there no training on crowd dispersal and control or something close? Do they always have to shoot at the people? Does the life of the people ever matter? Do they know who they should protect or fight against? And Gospel Walker goes, this is what we see in a society where people are not organized and coordinated. People take laws into their hands. This incident should be properly investigated, and anyone found culpable should be punished. Back to the phone lines. Hello, hard fact to welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, go ahead.
Okay. So, two things. First of all, this is becoming a game. I think there's a business in this. One of the callers mentioned something like that. There's a business, there's an opportunity in this, and there are people that the government pays, to help them manage this kind of crisis. So it's an opportunity. It happens in Jonathan, it's happening in Buhari, until Nigerians decide to wake up and face these people head on. I think we are going nowhere because they'll continue to give us, this feeling, the one to paparazzi. You can imagine the kind of scenario they are trying to, the kind of thing they are trying to create a scenario out of. People's emotion. It's wrong. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good day. Go ahead.
I want to talk about this insecurity issue.
Hard fact to welcome. Go ahead.
Hello. Good evening, guys.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we are in a hurry to forget about the fact that this is Frederick Lebosi calling from Eleme. I think we are forgetting the fact that how many children were kidnapped and how many of them have been released. In the course of these Chibok girls also, how many was kidnapped, how many was being released?
Just a moment. Can you hear me? Now, the government has clarified that there were errors with the numbers initially released, and there is no other information contrary-wise in the public domain yet. If that happens, then we will discuss it. For the moment, we are not in a hurry.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello, 9213.
Hello?
Hi, go ahead.
But, Victor, I want to talk about this issue.
Hello, Hartford, you're welcome.
Hello, Daniel.
Hi, go ahead.
Yes, Daniel, I followed the report of this incident on the private radio TV station. And the fact is that one of the son of the man went there with his son to go and pick the sister up among the sister was among those kidnapped. And one of the boy was injured in that shooting because they are fighting. And some of these girls, after the teenage one, were in pain. But the authorities don't care. They didn't care because they want to make a show out of it. You expect this from where you see mediocrity. Why? The people who are in charge of our government will in local government, the federal level, they are the people that normally say that those are the people that normally comes out to the class. And that's why you see all those things. They want to make a show out of anything. And that's why you see groundbreaking ceremony, you see this today, you see commissioning. Those who know what the audience will not do all those things prior. It's going to take us a long time before we leave this situation. Thank you.
Oh, it might take us a while, but I hope it's sooner rather than later. I really do hope so. Via WhatsApp, good evening, Di. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Umar from Eliawani said that. Good Dial, how do you expect them to waste all that opportunity to tell us more lies about what our government has done or will be doing? Yes, they're not interested. That's the irony of leadership in our country. Kwadi Kwele said that. Di, I'm not surprised. These same incompetent rulers will not stop Boko Haram impossible. Things of a the so-called chiefs even bought new Usman Danfodio to display. Shame to them. That's Soki, you're right. You're right. They were probably wearing their new Usman Danfodio clothes and that's Usman Danfodio hats as well. And then somebody said because they want to collect their appearance, they won't let them to showcase their new Usman Danfodio attire. No. Back to WhatsApp. The so-called bandits we call kidnappers returned these girls alive to their loved ones, but security personnel made sure they didn't get back to their families alive. Just one question: the bandits and our security personnel, who is worse? It's unfortunate that we have armed men worse than bandits as our security men. That's from Nancy. This is how we do it here. And what is even handover when you couldn't protect the children in the first place, and you want to play politics with the life of these children? Kudos to the parents. That's from IBC. Good afternoon. It's really unfortunate how our leaders are more concerned about themselves than the welfare of the people. It's really unfortunate indeed. I can't wait for that time when true leaders will take the driver's seat in this country. That's from Annie. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, it's our security men. It can be coming on them. How will you tell me when they are going to drink and all manner of them? Was there any intention to kidnap those girls? Or was there anything contrary to that? What is it that they will just pull that trigger? Somebody will just be there and pull trigger. What is the issue? They should begin to look at their cycle of this our security agents, giving them arms. Don't drink and drive. It's also applicable to don't give a man that drinks to handle arm. They will be killing innocent people every day, every time, and nothing will be happening. There should be caution of these things. The authorities should look into it. It's a very serious matter. There was no issue for them to pull trigger. What is the problem for them to pull trigger for crying out loud in this our country? Please, they should look into it. Drinking and smoking and misbehaving is becoming unbecoming in our country, Nigeria.
Via WhatsApp. Hi, Dio. We are in a failed and comical state with insensitive and callous rulers rather than leaders. It's a clear indication that the government have hands in this whole saga. Where were these gallant officers when these children were whisked away? Hi, Dio. Do you want them to lose their negotiation money and their commissioning money? It's a must. That's from Anderson. What Anderson? Isn't it obvious that this present government has no intelligent plans towards protecting their people, but playing politics with the lives of the masses to gain cheap political recognition so that they will use it for campaigns? So gullible and insensitive. Maxwell Ina from Port Harcourt said that. Totally agree. I mean, nothing could be more insensitive. And it's just mind-boggling how, once again, that something that ideally should be so simple, so nothing complex, just give the children back to their parents, to their guardians, and that's it. Somehow we managed to turn it into a national tragedy. Somehow we managed to bungle even that. As simple as it is. Incredible. We got the news coming up top of the hour, the business news, that is. Afterwards, return, we delve into the next conversation. Africa America Security Study Group says operatives of the River State Neighborhood Watch Agency are deployed to communities without training. Azuka Nolim, Regional Coordinator for African American Security Study Group, will join me for that conversation. Do please stay with us.
Start you off in the morning, keep you all day, and keep you company all night long. We are
92.3
Nigeria Info. The first talk station of the nation.
And now the business news.